Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Today is Wednesday, November 15th, and this is your daily card pull. So you may have noticed that I took a little bit of a break there, so Spirit was just calling me to pull my energy and go within and refocus a little bit. But today felt like the day that I was being called to the cards and to give another reading and to see what all energy is in store for you. I do plan on getting back into the regular readings, so the things like the twin flame readings, the Is This Your Person readings, all of those. So stay tuned for those to be popping up again, regularly on the channel as well as the daily pulls. So we'll do this in the same format that we had before, where I'll pull 3 cards for the energy for the collective in general, and then I'll go by sign groupings after that. So in the description box below, you'll see the links to the sign groupings, like the air signs, water signs, fire signs. So let's see what messages are coming through for Wednesday, November 15th. So we have the Emperor in reverse, 2 of Wands in reverse, and Judgment in reverse. So here we go. So with this, in terms of the overall energy that we're seeing here, there's kind of this sense of like there's a failure to plan and a failure to step into what it is that you should be stepping into. So with this, it's this 2 of Wands in reverse is kind of the sense of indecision. And with the Emperor in reverse, usually the Emperor is that strong, masculine energy and being decisive and, going forwards. And this is kind of that sense of maybe not, so there's quite a bit of stagnation here, and this sense of like waiting on divine judgment to come in, and it's not really happening. So there's a little bit of, I'll call it stagnation and not really knowing where to go. So that's something I've been seeing that as well, looking across like the whole collective. And so even though I haven't been doing readings, I have been in tune with that and what energy is coming up in the collective in general, and also in like the twin flame collectives. And there's been a lot of this sense of kind of hitting these weird transitional stagnation stages. And so it seems like that's what's coming through here as well. So let's jump in and we'll look at the individual sign groupings and see what messages are coming through there. Let's start with our air sign. So that's going to be our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And let's see what messages are coming through for you. The Sun. So this is that card about your blessings coming in. So even though there's this sense of like this little bit of, call it the indecision, and you don't really know where to go, there is that sense that, there's positive things coming through. So you just have to be able to kind of look for them. So there's blessings coming through. It's a matter of, can you learn from the past? So some of this like indecision and stalling, we also, Judgment in reverse is kind of like you're not really learning from the past. So usually, Judgment in the upright is, hey, you've gotten to the end of this, you've learned your lesson, and now here's, Judgment coming in. But this is like, I'm not learning my lesson, I'm just kind of looping. So it looks like for our air signs, you're starting to turn that corner. The blessings are coming in. So you're moving past this, this energy, which here, I can pull these down so you can still see them. Let's take a look at our moon card and see what message comes through. It's time to release negativity. So a lot of it, I'll move these out of the way. A lot of it is, if you want your blessings to be coming in, you can't be sitting here focused on everything that's wrong. Like you need to be releasing some of these negative thought patterns. If there's situations that are stagnant and there's kind of this like indecision and all of that, the way out of it is to do something a little bit different. The whole idea of the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if you've been clinging to the past and you've been holding on to all of this negativity, whether it's self-limiting beliefs, whether it's resentment towards somebody else, whether it's, bitterness towards family members or friends. If you're doing that, you're not going to be able to sit in your blessings. Kind of the whole thing of telling people, or specifically kids, I don't reward bad behavior. Kind of the whole thing of don't sit here and throw a fit and expect to get rewarded for that. It's almost like the universe has that type of mentality of, we're not going to take negative behavior and shower praise on, or abundance on top of that. So release that negativity and you'll get to your abundance. Let's take a look at our Gaia card. Purification, water, emotional cleansing, and rejuvenation. So this is, the overall collective energy is kind of that heavy stuck energy, and, that people aren't learning from their lessons. It's this like, very almost like crushing control that's leading to indecision. But if you can kind of work on this emotional cleansing, and it'll give you a different perspective. So let's take a look at our spray paint oracle cards. Let's see what comes in. If you're doing it with all your heart, you will succeed. So this is kind of the whole thing of, like if you're working on manifesting, for example, manifesting from a place of abundance and being in that higher vibration. It's almost kind of like your abundance and your blessings, they don't trigger the higher vibration. Your higher vibration will trigger the abundance and the blessing. So you have to work on changing your vibration and raising it up to be able to be in a position to receive it. All right, next we are on to our fire sign. So that's our Aries, Leo, Sag, and let's see what message comes through for you. The Star. So the star, it's kind of similar to the sun. The sun is the blessings are already coming in. The star is that hope, that optimism, kind of faith in divine, in the divine, that they're bringing in blessings. That even if you're stuck in this heavy energy, knowing that it's for a reason. So it's that whole idea of this isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. So some of the times, if especially if you feel like you're kind of stuck in this point of indecision, and kind of like there's been this failure to plan and you're avoiding change and you don't really know what to do. Like if you feel like you're stuck in that, some of the times it's a matter of what is the lesson that needs to be learned? So the Judgment in reverse, that's all about, you didn't learn from the lessons. Almost like if you can mentally look at it that, okay, my life is a play. I'm the main character in this play. If I was watching this unfolding, what would I recognize as being the lesson for this main character? What is this character supposed to be learning? And if you can almost like distance yourself like that, sometimes it helps, because if you can learn these lessons, like that's what the hope part here is. That optimism is you're recognizing that you haven't learned from these lessons and it's kept you in this place of like stagnation and indecision. So once you can recognize that, you can address it. You can shift some of that mindset. And that's where you are right now. Your moon card, the end of a tough cycle approaches. So this part that's a tough cycle for you, the end of it is coming up. But keep that faith, that optimism, that light at the end of the tunnel. If you're feeling pulled into hermit mode, lean on your friends, lean on your support network, because it's easy once you start on that downward spiral thinking, it's easy to fall into that trap. But reach out to your friends. Like they want to help you. Your soul tribe, your soul family wants to help you, and that'll keep you moving forward, even though some of this is tough. This optimism, the end is approaching. Just be strong for a little bit longer and you'll make it through. Your Gaia card is Hidden Path, the marriage of spirit and matter. So even if you can't see exactly the way out right now, just keep moving yourself forward. Even if you're just taking tiny, tiny little baby steps every day, keep taking those tiny baby steps, because the next thing you know, you'll look back and be like, oh, I tiny baby stepped my way all the way to here. And this new path is going to emerge. All right. Our spray paint oracle for you is take a step away from your current problem. And so this is like what I was talking about. Actually, those kind of go. And this optimism, like all of the greens in there. The whole take a step away, that's like I was saying, oh, and actually this one goes with it too. If you can see it as a play, and what is it that the person, like, what is this main character supposed to be learning? That will really help you because you're taking a step away from it and you're not saying, this is me, this is my problem, you know, I can't believe this is happening to me. You're looking at it more as an objective observer, like, hey, this character, this avatar, this, you know, person has this issue going on. What is it that they're maybe not seeing? You know, and if you've ever been to the to British pantos, and I love those. And it's theater, and so it's a play. I think usually there's music in it, but the audience is interacting with the character. So, you know, like when the main villain comes on, everyone in the audience is booing and they're yelling at him, and then, you know, the character turns around and talks to the audience. It's almost kind of like that. If you could talk to that character in that play that you're looking at, what would you tell them the lesson is? What would you tell them they need to do? All right, next up is our earth sign. So that's our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Emperor. So this is that standing in that divine masculine energy, standing in that strong, assertive energy. So if you've been stuck in this like indecision and this, oh, I don't really know, and you're not really learning from your lessons, this is the time to wake up and be like, okay, this lesson has been going on over and over and over again. What do I need to do differently to stop this lesson from repeating? And it's probably because you have not been standing in your Emperor energy. It's been more of a helpless damsel energy, I guess. And so you really need to stand in your Emperor energy of, no, this is nonsense. Like, why is this lesson repeating? It needs to end. And that's going to take some willpower, and it's going to take some strength, because over here, the energy is the Emperor in reverse. It's the opposite of that. It's not standing in your true power. So, yep, things keep looping. So stand in your power, and you can stop this process from happening, or from looping again and again. And your moon card is your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. So Taurus, that's, you know, one of our earth signs here. You need a practical plan. If you're trying to get out of this dynamic, whatever situation is looping over and over for you, and you're not learning your lessons, you need to have a practical plan. It's not good enough to say, oh, well, I hope someday this will change. I hope someday this will get better. I hope someday, you know, somebody else will intervene. The universe will intervene. They'll, you know what I mean? Like, if you're just constantly waiting for something else to change the scenario for you, you're really not learning your lesson. So what you need to do is you need to come up with some sort of a practical plan. And it doesn't have to be a 50-page written document of here's my plan, but you need to have some idea of, okay, if I don't want this to loop and keep repeating, what do I need to do to be in my Emperor energy to create a new outcome? Eternal love, happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. So this situation is lacking this. It's lacking the love and the harmony and fulfillment. And oftentimes that's because you're desperately trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And it's just not going to work. So you're going to keep looping until you acknowledge that, that maybe that peg doesn't go in that hole. The jumper card was they love you more than they're telling you. And then I'll pull another card as well of your guides are listening. So with your guides listening, that's the whole thing of, you know, your guides love you. Your guides are trying to help you get on the right path. You need to ask them for help. So don't get frustrated, like banging your head against a wall, trying to figure this all out on your own. Your guides are there to help you, and they will if you ask them. But you need to be calling on them, you know, calling on your guides, on the archangels, and listening to the messages that come back. All right, on to our water signs. So that is going to be our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Oops. Your jumper card, the Fool. So you have new beginnings. You're being asked to take that leap of faith. You know, so if you're under this energy, this dynamic of feeling like things have stagnated, like you're just looping, you're not learning the lessons, it's, that very heavy energy, a new start. Take that leap of faith. Let something new in that's going to change this dynamic for you. All right, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. So this is that, look at the bigger picture. If you're focused too much on what is this tiny little problem and you're letting it consume you, if you take this tiny little problem, but you put it right up here at your face, that's all you're seeing. And you're not even seeing anything else around you. So it's that idea of, for example, if you've been constantly, maybe you have issues where you have water coming in your house and you feel like you're constantly, having to clean up the water, you're putting, mopping it up, you're trying to patch different things on the inside of the wall. At some point, you have to step back and say, okay, I know this is going to cause a little bit more of a flood inside. I need to step out of the house. I need to take a look around it. I need to figure out how that water is getting in there, not just addressing the water once it's already there. How do you step outside of it to look to see what is causing it to be there to begin with? That's the whole look at the bigger picture. What is causing this situation to keep looping, rather than addressing the looping after it's happened? How do you get out in front of it and change it so that whatever the issue is does not continue to repeat itself? Liberation, breaking free from a negative attachment. So, that could be if you're constantly, say, for example, fighting with a partner of yours, and it's just one fight after another, and it's like you manage the fights as they come up, and then it's like, whew, okay, we're not fighting anymore. And then it's just like things are quiet. They're not necessarily good, but they're quiet, and it's like, okay, got through that one. That's kind of the whole thing of look at the bigger picture. Why are you fighting with this person to begin with? Do you have a negative attachment to that person and you're just not willing to see it, not willing to let it go? All right, let's take a look here. A new door is opening shortly. Yep. And if you're liberating yourself from these patterns, like learn your lesson, incorporate whatever it is that divine is trying to teach you by having this lesson keep repeating over and over again. Incorporate that into your understanding, into your behavior, into your you. Incorporate that, and then you'll have this new beginning that's coming in. This, new path, new journey, new experience that's not this, and you'll have that coming in for you. So that was today's message for you, and I hope that you found this to be helpful. As always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I will see you again tomorrow for tomorrow's reading. So I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.